And welcome once again to another fantastic Fallout 76 video. My name is Dr. Wasabi. On this New Year's Eve, I will be showing you a full guide on the full weekly challenges that has started on December 31st. Now, folks, this is my first Fallout 76 guide, weekly challenges that is. So if you do think I could do anything better, please obviously say anything in the comment section below. It's greatly appreciated. So without further ado, let us get into the video. Okay, so for the first challenge, this is complete an event while well fed. Now, this one is by far one of the most easiest of the quests this week, so let me show you how to do it. Now, folks, surprisingly enough, the events are not the hardest part of this challenge. You know, you can find them a dime a dozen on the map menu. So obviously we've got one right now, Enclave event. Bots on parade, real easy. So the real challenge is just getting enough food to be well fed, because you don't really think about it. You know, you'll have some cram in a dumpster somewhere. You don't really think about how much food you're doing or eating before you actually need it for a quest. Now, this is a location I love to farm. It is north of Dent and Sons Construction. I made a little camp here during the Skyline Valley update. So this is essentially chocker full of rad stags. So if I kind of zoom out here, you can see them all kind of like grazing and what have you. Now, these will give you around 1 to 2 rad stag meat each. So if we count them, there's 1 over there by the farmhouse, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's around 12 bits of rad stag meat that you can use in the events. And if you need any other sort of locations, one other location I do use is Twin Lakes, a really good location spawn for rad stags. It's just northwest, I believe, of Huntersville. Now, the next challenge is the following: buying an item from or sell an item to another player. Now, this one may seem a bit confusing, but it's actually really simple. The best way I usually do these things is I go to my Collectron, I just collect all the garbage that kind of comes out of it, and I just sell it to other people. So, you know, I've got the Scoutmaster Collectron, and we've got a bunch of stuff we need to sell. The only other way I can recommend doing this is just go to your nearest train station, buy a bunch of stim packs, and just sell them off. Either way, it's a really good sort of method to do, because sometimes you're not really looking to buy stuff, you're just looking to complete the quest, which I guarantee you everyone else will be wanting to do. Okay, so for the next quest, we have the following: drink 25 Nuca Cola. Now, this one is one of my favorite quests. I've pretty much got it baked into my brain, all the locations, so I'll just go with them with you, so to speak. So obviously the main locations I go to are the investigator's cabin. There is a little pit stop over here which you can walk down to. Now, this is a random spawn drop, so you might get a sheep squatch or a wolf, I don't know what they're called. Blue devil, that's it. You might get a blue devil or a sheep squatch, so please bear that in mind. But you will get a lot of rare Nuca Cola drops, like Nuca Cola Dark, Grape, obviously, you know, Quantum, all of those things. Another drop of note is Pleasant Valley Station. That's always a good one I go to. Now, of course, you have Bubbles in the White Spring Refuge. That's always a good one to have. And of course, you have Nuca World on tour, the vending machines by the back. That's always a great location for Nuca Colas. Now, for our next quest, we are in the town of Flatwood. So the challenge we're doing today is kill 6 Brahmin. Now, this one isn't really the easiest. The way I mean by that is that you'll need to do a lot of server hopping, because there is about 2 or 3 Brahmin over here. Now, I'm not sure if they're actually alive. Yeah, you know, someone's already beaten me to it. But, you know, there's about 2 Brahmins here. So the best thing I recommend you do is just server hop. You know, it's about best of 3 in that respect. There are more Brahmin if you do the free range event. You can go sort of massacre them after the event, but that is essentially the only Brahmin I could find. Now, there are more, I believe, over maybe at Ironholt Homestead. I'll have to go fact check that in a second. Okay, I am back, folks, and at Ironholt Homestead. So essentially, most of these farmlands are empty unless there is the free range quest active, in which case they will spawn. But please bear in mind, so this one will be essentially a roll of free server hops to either Flatwoods or going to the free range event and just killing them afterwards once you've completed, obviously, the event. Okay, so for our next challenge, we have the following: kill 10 floaters. Now, this one is a doozy, folks. If you don't have the right equipment, these can be just incredibly annoying to kill. But what I'm going to show you is basically the best ways to kill them, as well as the multiple locations in which they spawn. Now, folks, the best case I have found is that rocket sledgehammers do a load of damage against floaters. I think because it's sort of piercing in that way. A lot of ranged weapons, they don't do as much damage, especially sort of laser weapons. This one, my trusty whacker smacker, has proven to be quite effective against these guys, so please bear that in mind. Okay, so for the locations, now these little buggers are in a variety of places. So the first one is just outside the entrance of Huntersville. You'll notice them on the road up to Huntersville. Now, I believe this is random, but obviously you'll have to fact check me if I'm wrong. I have been to places where Huntersville has no floaters, or they might have a few, but it really is up to your game and who's kind of gone there first. The other location is near White Springs. Now, this is, of course, the safe and clean disposal. There is a total of 3 floaters over there, so obviously be careful. The frost ones kill your power armor within like 5 seconds. It's ridiculous. Now, the third location is the big mall. These little guys kind of float around the edge, so obviously be careful there. And of course, the fourth location, if I can find it, is Solomon's Pond, which is northwest of Huntersville, just over here. Now, obviously, you can go here from the Twin Lakes, so that isn't really that big a deal, but you will have to sort of follow the path up to Solomon's sort of shack, and there will be about 6 floaters, I believe, from my last experience, so please be careful. Okay, so we are at Solomon's Pond, and already we see 1 floater Nasher. Now, a lot of these will be in the ground, so if you don't see them at first, just kind of like lean over to one of those sort of glowing areas. You'll be able to see where they are, because they kind of like produce these particle effects. Which are quite... Oh, no, there's one. So, as said previously, the hammer does a lot more damage than you might think. I mean, look at that damage. Honestly, it's great. Now, in the next challenge, we have the following: plant a crop in a workshop or camp. Now, this is real easy, and funnily enough, one of the best locations I have found is actually near Solomon's Pond. So, the sort of path we go down near here has all sorts of carrot flowers and berries, and all... See, look at that. We got 1 berry, we got 2 berry, we got 3 berry, we got 4 berry, and with the forager perk, this kind of doubles the amount of plants you can pick. So this is a great location for any farmable sort of crops you can have. I mean, look, literally, look at this. Look at all these berries. Honestly, my god. But yeah, folks, you will have to unleash your inner forager. So the Savage Divide is a really good place for sort of a lot of small crops like blackberries or corn or things like that. Sort of like wild carrot flowers. That's always a good one. So please bear that in mind. This is more of a how quickly you gather them rather than anything. You can't really sort of buy them off anyone unless you're lucky. So please bear that in mind. Now, for our next quest, folks, we are going to be scrapping to produce copper. Now, this is in 15's worth. Now, the real easy way to fix this is just get a bunch of bulk copper, or make bulk copper using what you have in your camp, and just going over to your Yasmin. Yasmin, get out of the way, get out of the way! As I was saying before I was interrupted, if we go over to the Tinker's Workbench, we go over, so I've got some bulk copper here, you know, we scrap this, you know, we scrap some more, hey presto, we've got scrap junk to produce copper. Real easy, but some of these on the list aren't that easy to reproduce, so obviously we got some gold and screws, so you will need some locations for things like that. Okay, so for the screw section of the quest, you will need to go to Summersville. Now, this has an abundance of office desk fans. Now, this is a great thing to get you screws. These are full of screws, so either you can serve hop, or most likely you can find a lot of them. And as well as that, there's also some battered clipboards as well. That's always good for junk. So, going back to our camp, when we scrap all these items, so we have a few screws, a few springs, some gears, all of that good stuff. Now, obviously, this will take about a week, so don't really worry about getting them too quickly. You know, you will find office fans and stuff like that around, but it's always in those little locations that you need to sort of look out for. And for the last quest, we have, of course, scrap to produce gold. Now, this is the most difficult in my mind because of sort of the rarity of the material. But a few locations I like to go to are the following. So the first one is Appalachian Antiques. This has a bunch of just old-timey stuff, pocket watches, that kind of thing. So this is a great location for sort of those gold components in that way. So moving in, we have a lot of stuff. So obviously we got a flip lighter, we got some cigar boxes, and also we have some fans over here if you still need to do these screws quest line. Now folks, if you can't find any gold plated items in these sort of Appalachian Antiques, then fear not. The other location I do go to is the White Spring. Now this has all the fancy stuff in it, so there's a lot of gold. So please, obviously, this is a great location to go to. So we are in the White Spring North entrance. So if we go over to the Orem, we will find, I think this is it. Yes, so this should be the right place. So if we go over to Helena and we go down in her inventory, we will find some lovely gold pocket watches and some gold plated flip lighters. Now this is one of the best places if you're just plumb out of luck for gold. So please bear that in mind. And so, there we have it, folks. The first week of 2025 in Fallout. The weekly challenges. I do hope you have enjoyed. I hope this helps. This is my first weekly challenge guide. So, if you do like it, if there's anything I could do better, please say so in the comment section below. My name has been Dr. Wasabi. I bid you a most pleasant good morning, good evening, or good night. And I'll see you in the wasteland. God bless.